I'm trying to get my stuff together. Um, Create my banner. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, there we go. As you come in, please tap the screen twice over here on TikTok. Tap the screen twice, it will attract more viewers so everybody can join us today for cooking. Okay, um, so while I'm waiting, I feel like I'm forgetting something over here in my list of ingredients, but I don't see anything. Okay, so today I am doing what I like to do on Sunday afternoons. I do batch cooking. And with my batch cooking, I usually cook like two or three meats and a vegetable. And then I make some either a fresh fruit salad when we actually have dinner, or I make a fresh, salad. So I'm cooking my meats and my vegetable. And what I will do is, hold on, what I do with my containers. I like to put them in containers. Let me grab my container. This is the container. I don't know if you can see it. You see how it has compartments in there? And this will go into the freezer. And I'll have probably my main dish here, and my sides will go here. So I will put these in the freezer because I have started working longer hours, and because at night, at least 2 to 3 nights a week, I am online doing new parent talks or talking with nanny groups. I have had to switch everything around because I don't have time to cook during the week. So what I will do is I will cook these, and we have a refrigerator and a freezer in our garage, and I will cook these and I'll put them in the garage. It's kind of like having a frozen meal, but it's more fresh than the frozen meals. So I cook my meals, put them in here, and we're ready to go. Now, the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to prepare my chicken because I'm going to bake it. I take chicken wings. My husband likes chicken wings. I like chicken wings. So what I'm going to do, I've already washed and cleaned my chicken wings. I think it was about 12. And they were 12 whole wings. So I split them into little, should I say, no, that's not quartered because it's only three. I put them in thirds because it's 3 parts to the chicken wing. I took okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. Hang on, let me grab a fork and pick that up. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, that's what happened when you go live. Stuff doesn't go exactly according to plan. Anyway, so I'm going to put my chicken off into a Ziploc bag. I'm going to marinate it. I'm going to let it marinate for a couple of hours while I cook the rest of dinner. And besides that, I need to cook the other meat that I'm cooking first, while this one has a chance to marinate and get all the flavors all good and yummy in there. Now, I like putting my favorite flavors onto my chicken. I don't know what you all use for your chicken. Thank you, Seashell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mine without mine. Mine without mine. Oh, okay. Hi, Mine Without Mine. Thank you for sharing my video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as I was saying, I like to put my favorite flavors on my chicken. I experiment a lot with food. This morning, if you haven't checked out my Facebook or Instagram page, this morning, okay, put that away. This morning, I made some pumpkin spice French toast. Oh, God, it was so yummy, y'all. And I made a glaze to go on top of it with brown sugar and a little Karo syrup and some butter and some pumpkin spice seasoning. Mm-mm. And then I made my favorite eggs and spinach because I have to have my greens to go with that. Let me see. Let me put this on comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have some oil. This is extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil. I like to put oil on my chicken because it helps the seasoning to stick to it and flavor it better. So I'm going to pour some oil on my chicken. And I put it in the bag because it's easier to mix up. So what I'm going to use to give it a little kick, I got some Slap Your Mama, just so you can see that. If you don't know about Slap Your Mama, look on their page, on their website, slapyourmama.com, and you can order some. Oh, and just so you know, yeah, there it is. This one still has the same amount of spice as this one. Let me turn it around. These two have the same amount of spice, but this one is low sodium. It has less sodium, but it's still Cajun seasoning. And there is a difference. The yellow one is salt, red pepper, black pepper, and garlic. This one contains, okay, where are the ingredients? Oh, it has a recipe of a guacamole, y'all. I didn't know that. Okay, so this one contains red pepper, salt, black pepper, granulated sugar, granulated garlic, granulated onion, ground celery, granulated green bell pepper. This I'm going to put in my second meat. But this one I'm going to put in my first one. So I got a little bit of kick. I don't like much spice. My husband always puts hot sauce on his stuff. So just to give me just a little bit of kick, I add a little bit in there. A little bit, trust me, a little bit goes a long way. Try it. Taste a little bit on your finger before you put it in season your food, so you'll know how hot it is. And once you figure out how hot it is, then you'll know the amount to put on your food. Because the first time I used it, I'm just sprinkling it away. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, won't do that again. Hello, Stephen. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Hi, B-Bird. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Okay, so I'm also going to add some Mrs. Dash lemon pepper. It has no salt to it. This is a lemon pepper seasoning. It also has lemon peel in it, a lemon zest, should I say. I love lemon pepper seasoning, especially since this doesn't have any salt. But I have to be gentle with this one because this has a lot of pepper too. And I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, with my tongue and my lips. And this one has pepper too. It has black pepper. But if you have never gotten into this, this is the Lowry seasoned salt, but it's the black pepper seasoned salt. It has a different flavor than the regular seasoned salt. Trust me. Hey Toya, how are you? Okay, so you might not like this meal because there's a lot of meat going on, and I know you're a vegetarian. But anyway, I am making some chicken wings. I'm putting my favorite seasonings on these chicken wings. Because this has salt and the Slap Your Mama has salt, I won't add any more salt to it. Okay, so this is probably going to be spicy. And let me show you how I do this. I fold it over so I get all the air out of it, and I zip it up tight. Okay, and then you have to maneuver your chicken. This is another reason I put the oil on there, because it helps to maneuver the spices to all of the chicken. Now, whoops, and that you have to be careful of, because sometimes I push too hard and it pops open on me. So just be careful of that part. But you want to make sure that it's all good and coated. All the chicken is coated real good. And if you don't have enough seasoning on there and you feel like it's not enough on there, you can always add more. But like I said, I like to use the oil because it helps. I add oil to it because it helps to maneuver the seasonings around in the bag. And then when I put it on my cookie sheet to put it in the oven to let it, I think I cook it around 400 degrees. And I put it on my cookie sheet to let it broil, or should I say semi-broil. It gets it all nice and crispy with that oil on there. It's not fried, it's baked, but it's so good. And there you have it. My chicken has its seasoning on there, and we're just gonna let it sit that aside and let it soak for like 2 or 3 hours, or until I get done with this, until the meatloaf gets done. We're gonna make a meatloaf. Now I'm going to get my potatoes started. That's going to be my vegetable. We're making some cheesy garlic smashed potatoes. So I'm going to pour my potatoes into my pot. I already have water and all of that. All right, and we're just going to put this on high. Whoops. There we go. All right. So I'm going to put that on high, let it boil. So it'll be done by the time we finish with our meatloaf. Now, let me grab my gloves so that I won't get meatloaf squished into my rings, under my fingernails, all that good stuff. Hello, Sheeta Bop. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I like to make my meatloaf with pork and beef. This is probably one of the only times that I eat beef. I do eat it occasionally, but I will make my meatloaf. And I cook meatloaf maybe once every 2 to 3 months. So this is not on my menu all the time. But I do like a good meatloaf. So I have my ground chuck, and I have my ground pork. Now one secret that I like to share with you all is when you're getting ready to cook with meat, take it out of the refrigerator and let it get room temperature because it cooks more evenly. If it's cold and you just kind of making it up and throwing it in the pan and doing what you need to do with it, then sometimes the coldness of it will cook unevenly, and you don't want it to cook unevenly. So let me find my little chopper. I love this tool. If y'all don't have one, get one. Hello, beloved. Is it Driolanda? Driolanda Ball? Okay. Hello, beloved. I'll just leave it that way. Okay. So, like I said, if you don't have one of these little smashing tools, you need to get you one. It's so good. Okay. Now, I am using some meatloaf. You know, in the grocery store where they have like the gravies, the taco mix, the chili mix, the what else do they have? Pot roast, all those mixes. Go to that section. I like to use the meatloaf mix in my meatloaf, but I also add other things to it. So I'm going to put this meatloaf mix in here. A whole packet. You can use a whole packet to, it's 2 pounds of meat. So I have a pound of ground chuck and I have a pound of ground pork. I'm going to put some of my Slap Your Mama in there because I love some Slap Your Mama, y'all. And this one has different ingredients. I don't want to put too much because it is still spicy, because the first ingredient is red pepper. Okay? But I do want it to have a flavor. Now, I have breadcrumbs. This is about a fourth of a cup of breadcrumbs I'm going to add. And I have about a fourth of a cup of finely diced, what's the tool called? It's a potato and smasher and meat smasher. It's just a smasher. It works so well with potatoes when you're mashing potatoes, or if you mixing meat. I love, love, love it. So I'm using about a fourth a cup of very diced, finely diced, should I say, red onions. I'm gonna throw that in there. And I'm gonna put a half a cup of milk in here. Yeah, I know, sounds crazy, right? And I have 2 eggs. Now, the milk helps to keep it moist. The breadcrumbs helps to hold it together. There's a reason, there's a method to my madness. There we go. And I think it says it on the package, but this is the way my mom taught me how to make it. So I like making it this way. Now, I'm going to use some tomato sauce. I like to get the tomato sauce that has the basil, garlic, and oregano in there. It's flavored. It is so yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay? Now, let me rinse this off and then I'll get busy opening it up and pouring half of that in there. The other half is going to go in our sauce to go on top. And I'm also going to show you how I like to do my meatloaf. A lot of people like to put it in a loaf pan, but when I'm working with little ones or families, or when I'm doing meal prep, I like to make them individual. So what I'm going to do, let me add about half of that, a little bit more. All right. You set that inside of there so it won't drip everywhere. But I like to, when I'm working with little toddlers, with the kids, I put my meatloafs in these little small, can you see the back of that? Little small tins, little cupcake tins. It comes out to be just the right size, so they don't have a big chunk of meat on their plate. It's just the right size for them. Even if they want to pick it up, it's just the right size for them to pick up and eat. And they don't have to worry about, because some kids get overwhelmed if you put too much on their plate. So this is just the right size for toddlers. But for my meal prep, I'm going to use this one because it's just the right size for adults. My husband likes to eat 2 of these. I like to eat 1. So I will put these in the meal prep. Have half of mine, half of his. So let me wipe this off my hands. Now we're going to stir all this together with the meat chopper, the smasher. If you don't have a smasher, or you just like to use your hands, because some people like to use their hands, and I will eventually use my hands. That's why I have the gloves on, because I will eventually use my hands. But I like to smash the meat up first before I get into all of that. But it's going to be yummy when it comes out of the oven. And we're going to make a special tomato sauce that goes over it, because I like to put the little gravy on top. A lot of people make brown gravy to go with their meat sauce. I like tomato gravy to go with my meatloaf. I said meat sauce. I meant meatloaf. Let me show you how it's going. Can you see that? I have to get on my tiptoes to show you. But that's how it's going. All right. There we go. Oh, And I forgot to tell you all, have any of you all ever tried this tea? Is it Tazo tea? Anyway, the passion tea. When I tell you this is some good tea, y'all don't miss out. Don't skip out on this. This is some good tea. It's good in the summertime, especially in the summertime. Good glass of tea. And I like making mine with the raw sugar, because the raw sugar, when I say raw sugar, where did I put it? Oh, I must have put it in the pantry. I use, let me grab it right quick. Oh, there it is. Sugar in the raw. Sorry. I like to use this with my tea. With this tea right here, I'm gonna make some of this. Just have it in a pitcher in the refrigerator with some of this. This sugar has a flavor to it that it tastes different from the regular white cane sugar. It is so good in that tea. It gives it just brings the flavor levels up to another level. Okay, I'm almost done with this part of. Let me put some of my favorite flavors. Oh, hold on. Pepper got up my nose. Sorry. Okay. I just like adding a little something to it. Now, I'm going to make the sauce. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to make the sauce. And I like to use a half of packet of the Meatloaf seasoning. I like to use that in there. And I say about an eighth a cup of brown sugar. Put that in there. Get you some, please don't fall. Okay, if y'all can pronounce this better than me, I'll pay you. This is called Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. However you pronounce this, get you some. Put some of that in there. And if you want to, you can add some to your meatloaf. I'm not going to add any to it this time. And we're going to take the sauce that we had left over from putting it in there. We're going to take that other half a can of sauce. And we're going to take another whole can of sauce and add it to it. Let me rinse this off first. So we're going to add this to that, and we're going to make a sauce to go on top of the meatloaf. So when we get done putting in the individual, when we get done putting it in the individual pans, we're going to put the sauce on there. It's going to be so yummy when it comes out of the oven. Okay, come on, Leah. Now, let me add that to that. And if you don't buy enough sauce, you can always add a little ketchup to your mix. And that way, you can always stretch it with a little ketchup. If you didn't buy enough sauce. Make sure you mix it up good, because that brown sugar needs to dissolve before you put it on there, or you're going to have a candied mess. You will get a big glob of, you have a question. Okay, Crystals, ask your question. And thank you for joining me. Okay. All right. Let me grab a spoon so I can taste my sauce. Nope, that's not a spoon. Let me grab one from over here. Oh, okay. Well, I'll grab a fork. Let's see what it tastes like. I need some more Worcestershire sauce. Taste your food if you don't have eggs and stuff in there. If it's just a sauce that doesn't contain eggs, taste your food before you put it. Taste your sauce, should I say, before you put it on your meat. All right, let's see. Better. I'm still missing something. I can't. Brown sugar. Hold on. Grab me some brown sugar to put in there. Because normally I make a smaller batch than what I'm cooking today. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do make my own brown sugar. All you need is some regular sugar and some molasses. And go to town, mix it together. And you come up with some brown sugar. And then if you need the recipe for that, I have the recipe to make the brown sugar on my YouTube page. It's my YouTube page is youtube.com/ask-the-nanny. Are you making meatloaf? Yes, I am. I am making meatloaf. Let me see. Somebody asked, "So what are you making?" Yes, I am making meatloaf, and I'm making a sauce to go on top of my meatloaf right now. Yes, that's it. Sorry, I get excited when a plan comes together. Yes, that's it. This is what I'm looking to. That's it. I'm ready now. Now, what I'm going to do, first of all, is stir my potatoes because they're getting a little, yeah, I want them good and cooked. Because this is what we're going to work on next after we finish our meatloaf. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to spoon it, the meatloaf into here. And just in case you're just joining me, I like to make individual meatloafs in my pan so that when I put them in my container to cook, to freeze, it's all individual meatloaf. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, you don't want to fill it all the way up to the top because you want to leave room for the sauce to go in there, to go on top. And you want to leave room because there is oil in your meat. It may not be a whole lot, but you don't want it to rise up and over and spill over into your oven and create a big mess for you to clean up. I also, I like to put foil in my oven, shiny side down, so that it will catch anything that falls into my oven. So just a couple of tips. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is make the small meatloaves, and then I'll grab my other pan and I'll make some bigger ones for my husband because he likes the big meatloafs. I like the little ones. The small one is just enough for me. So I'll let him have the big ones. There we go. Okay. Hello, Kenya. Thanks for joining me. I think that's what your name says. Let me make sure I didn't miss any more questions. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put these in here, and then I'm going to grab the big one and put more meatloaf in the big tin. I have some big cupcake makers, the bigger cupcake tins. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why my brain's not let me say what I want to say today. Okay, there we go. As soon as I get this feel, I'll let you see what it looks like. Ooh, those potatoes smell good. There we go. A little bit more into here. And just so you know, if you haven't guessed by now, yes, the meatloaf can be frozen. So you can take it out at a later date and serve it. Okay. A little bit more meatloaf in there. Put it in there. All right. I'm going to grab my big one. Oh, too short, y'all. I'll go with the 6. I'll take my chances on the 6 one instead of the 9 one. Okay. Maybe I should dig through that one. More meatloaf than I normally do. Okay. So I'm going to set this on the side. And I'm going to finish filling this one up. And again, like I said, you can add more meat to the bigger ones than you do to the smaller ones. There we go. Hello, Rose. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Okay. I know today is probably football Sunday, and a lot of you all are joining me instead of football Sunday, and I appreciate that. All right, let me take this out of here and put it in the sink. All right. There we go. A little bit more in here. And I think I got enough for one more. I'm glad I got the 9 one instead of the 6 one. There we go. Now we're going to fill it up with our sauce. There we go. Yeah, are y'all ready? We're just going to take a little bit, pour it over the top. Start with a little bit over the top, and then I'll come back and pour the rest of it in there. Yes, yummy, yummy, yummy. What are some of the things that you all grew up with that you still make and love? Meatloaf was one of the things in my household that my mom made. Oh my gosh, we love Meatloaf Day. And we especially love the cornbread with the meatloaf and the potatoes. My mom would make probably some greens or some or fresh salad. Something green had to go with us, some green beans. Something green had to go with this meatloaf and potatoes. But it was so yummy. Trying to focus and concentrate on getting this done. Then we're going to start on our potatoes before I let you all go. All right. Got a little more left, so I add a little bit more to each one of these, and then I'll show it to you before I get ready to put it in the oven. Because as soon as I get done with this, it'll be ready to go. Whoa. There we go. Almost done. Can't be wasting this good sauce. There we go. Put that in the sink. Now, this is what it looks like on its way to the oven. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we got the meatloaf done. The chicken is marinating. And I'm going to move this. Well, I'm going to put it over here on this counter. And I'll put it in the oven. Right now, I'm going to take my gloves off and we're going to do the potatoes. Yum. Let me grab my bowl for my potatoes. And my tool. I have all my other stuff over here. We plug this in. Now, this is my immersion blender. Love this thing. So anytime I need something blended up, I don't have to pick up the big blender and blend it together. I can just put it in here. Use this and go for it. There we go. Now, I'm going to use my other tool that I love so much. You see that? See the little perforated holes in there? It helps me to get the potatoes out of there without burning myself. This side has it's a ladle, but this side has where you can just kind of stir if you're stirring sauce. And this side drains the water from what you're taking out of the pot. Hello, Casey. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Okay, so now I'm going to take these potatoes. Now you want to say what my grandma calls, you want to save some of that pot liquor to go in your potatoes because it's going to help smooth them out. Now, I got a base. Now I'm going to add my cheeses. I shredded up some white cheddar cheese that I'm going to put off in there. And I got some Philadelphia cream cheese. Got 4 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese that I'm going to put in there. Or maybe not. Oh my gosh. Okay. We got some garlic butter. I get this at the local store. It's called a finishing butter, but it's roasted garlic and herb. And it smells so good, y'all. I like using it in my my garlic smashed potatoes. That way I don't have to deal with the garlic. It's already in there. Let me show you what it looks like. Can you see that? You see that finishing butter? It's got garlic and herbs. Uh, where do I find one of these ladles? I'm sure you can find them in the cooking store, but I got that particular one from the Pampered Chef. I went to a Pampered Chef party, and I got that one from a Pampered Chef party. So, uh, but I'm sure you can probably find one at a cooking store. Probably find one similar to it at Target or at you know what? Look online on Amazon. They probably have one on Amazon too. So uh, I'm gonna pour all of this butter in here. Let me grab a fork, and I'm gonna put all this butter. And the reason I'm putting this in here is because when I pour the potatoes on top, I want it to melt the cheese, and I want it to melt the butter. You can also put your butter out on the counter so it can get kind of softened up before you put it in there. Now, these are two of my favorite garlic flavorings. This is it's a salt-free garlic and herb seasoning. You see that? It's made by McCormick. Hold on, let me get it out of light. There we go. I like the salt-free because I like to be conscious of my blood pressure, and I got a lot of salt in everything else that I'm doing. So I just sprinkle a little bit in there, as much as I see. I eyeball it, and then my other one. This is a rub, actually a rub. It's by Grill Mates. It's called roasted garlic and herb. Now it has salt in it, so I would use both of these, one without salt and one with salt. So I'm going to put that in there, and it's going to season my potatoes, get them nice and creamy and yummy. Now, I'm going to put the rest of my potatoes in here on top of this so that I can have some melted cheese. Have some melted cheese before I go to blending it, and it helps to melt that butter too. Oh, this is gonna be yummy. Now, if I have potatoes left over, I like to make what I call the old-fashioned potato cakes. I will take the mashed potatoes and add some flour to it. And because these potatoes are already seasoned, I won't add any seasoning to it. And I flatten it out like a pancake in the skillet, and I just kind of fry it on both sides. It is so good and yummy. Now, if you want it to hold together better, add an egg to that mixture too. Not just the flour, add an egg, which is probably what I'll do. And I'll probably add some potato cakes with either the chicken wings. Probably add the potato cakes with the chicken wings that I'm making. And then I'll put the regular garlic mashed potatoes with my meatloaf. All righty. Y'all ready? Leave my potluck over there just in case I need some. Hold your ears, because this is going to be loud. That smells so good, y'all. you get done with this, taste it to make sure that you don't need some salt or uh, any other ingredient that needs to go in there. Yes. Perfect. That is yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. So I got the potatoes together. I got the meatloaf together. In case you missed it, the chicken is still sitting and marinating. I'm going to put it in the oven. In a couple of hours, it's been marinating for, I guess, a good hour. Yeah, about 45 minutes it's been marinating. I'm going to let it marinate for another hour or so until the meatloaf is done. And I'm going to cook my meatloaf in the oven. I'm going to cook my meatloaf in the oven on 375 for about 20 minutes. Check it. Make sure it's done. It's usually done when the meat has pulled away from the side of the pan and it's kind of the top of your sauce. It kind of looks like it's kind of looks like a brownie because it has like little cracks in it. But it is so yummy. You'll know when it's, just check it, make sure that it is ready before you pull it out of the oven because I don't want you eating raw meat. But I usually cook mine about 375 for about 20 minutes, about the same amount of time that I cook cupcakes because it doesn't take long. If I was putting it in a loaf pan, then I cook it for about 45 minutes. But because they're small individuals, they cook quicker. And that's one of the reasons I put them in the small tins because they cook quicker, dinner gets ready faster. And by the time I'm done with that, I'm going to make some Jiffy Mix because we love Jiffy Mix. And if you don't know what Jiffy Mix is, that's cornbread. It is so yummy. And what I'll probably do, just so we'll have some more green vegetables, I'll put some broccoli in my Jiffy Mix. We'll have the broccoli and cheese cornbread to go with the cheesy potatoes. And I'm also going to make some Brazilian cheese bread. So we'll have that with the chicken. So I usually put the cornbread and the other any other bread that I cook, I'll put it in the refrigerator in an airtight container. And that way, as we eat on our meals for the day, or for the week, we can just pull out a piece of bread, just like you do loaf of bread. It's in the bread box or in the refrigerator. Just go in there and pull out a piece of bread if you want it warmed up. Put it in the toaster oven or put it in the microwave. So that's what we'll do. Hello, Mary. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed cooking with me today. Um, I have had fun. I love, love, love cooking with you all. I haven't cooked with you all in a while, so I figured I'd come back. I stopped cooking because I hurt my arm, and my left arm was taped up. Even though you probably couldn't see it, it was taped up. If you look on my page, there's several videos of my arm taped up and me going to the chiropractor. And it's from doing my job. It's called an occupational hazard of carrying the babies on my left side. All my arms and my nerves and my neck were all kind of jumbled up, but I'm better now and I'm seeing the chiropractor regularly now. So she has released me, so I'm going to cook. I'm coming back. Thank you. I will be trying the small meatloaf. Yes, Lanita, it works awesome, especially if you are cooking for toddlers, for kids. I would suggest you use the little one. Use this one because it makes the little mini loaves, like the little mini cupcakes. It makes the little mini loaves, and it will save you because these are freezable. You can take them out of the freezer, pop them in the microwave, or pop them in the oven for a few minutes, or just take them down at the beginning of the day. If you know you want to have them that evening, take them down in the middle and at the beginning of the day, put them in the refrigerator. By the time you get home from work, or maybe if you work from home, It'll be done. Just pop it in the microwave. They're simple, they're easy, they taste good. Your kids will love them. So, if you haven't followed me across my social media, please do so on Instagram at Instagram.com/ask.the.nanny and on Facebook. I am askthenanny.com, facebook.com at askthenanny. And on TikTok, I am tiktok.com/ the at symbol and then AT Nanny, as in at nanny, AT Nanny. So, and follow me on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube page at youtube.com/Ask the Nanny. Everything is Ask the Nanny. So, I appreciate you all joining me. I will see you Tuesday night for our Tuesday night talk. And before I leave, I would like to wish all of my nanny friends all across the globe a happy Nanny Recognition Week. It's International Nanny Recognition Week, and I want to recognize all of my nanny sisters and brothers. Keep doing what you're doing. Treat yourself today. Treat yourself to something wonderful. I treated myself to some pumpkin spice French toast this morning. I made some pumpkin spice French toast. It was so yummy. And of course, I made enough for the next couple of days so I can enjoy it in the morning before I go to work, because it's National Nanny Recognition Week. We deserve it. Treat yourself. Give yourself some extra love and some extra self-care this week. So I will see you all on Tuesday. We will be talking about, guess what? You have to find out on Tuesday. Join me 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So thank you all again for joining me, and I will see you all on Tuesday. And please don't forget to like and share and follow. Double tap the screen before you leave. Send some likes. Okay, my phone is not working. Okay, there we go. So double tap the screen, send some likes. If you're over here on Facebook and YouTube, leave a comment, like, share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you on Tuesday.